What up? It's your boy, The Incredible Man. Yes, I'm back at it again. I just watched the mid-season finale of 911, also known as Season 3, Episode 10. Dude, this episode was boss, man. It started way crazier than what I expected it to. It was super crazy, man. We had this one chick that she's on her way to do some Christmas shopping for her kids, and she's been cut off from a parking spot. People pushed her as they entered the store, and she couldn't take it anymore. So she got the gift, and someone snatched it from her, and she started macing people, man. It was straight crazy, dude. She was macing people. She maced the whole store, everybody that was right there trying to take the toy from her. And she maced Santa Claus. She maced Santa. We know she's on the naughty list for sure now. But dude, this episode was phenomenal, man. We started off and and in the end, Athena arrested her and took her to jail, and she still didn't get the toy. But dude, this episode was very good, man. Aside from that particular case, and in the one case with the chick with the with the toothache in the medicine, like the toothache gel or whatever she was using. I don't know how many she had in the trash can, but she used that whole tube from the first one, and it was a gunk, like it was a lot of it, dude. It's like she just took it and just piled it on her tube. And when she woke up, she was blue. She was blue. Dude, it was crazy, but I love 911 for how they answered it and told us, the viewers, what was going on and what happened. So if anyone ever really wanted to try that, they know not to try it. Now, you guys know I normally don't really talk about the cases, but this episode, the cases were phenomenal this episode. And they gave her the medicine and everything, and it was because she took so much of it that like it pretty much not eradicated, but like stopped her red blood cells from activating and everything. And she turned blue. But they gave her the medicine and she ended up turning back to normal. Now, those two cases were funny and wild. But then we have the case with the family that's going to Hawaii for Christmas. And the dude is just so in love with his clubs, he want to check his clubs as a carry-on. You want to check your clubs as a carry-on? Really? So the lady says, give me the clubs, and you can't take these on a carry-on. So he's like, be very, very gentle. She takes them, just throw them on the rack. I mean, on the line. She just takes it and just throws it up there. It was too funny. It was too funny. But then, dude, the case that happened at the airport with the guy sitting in the clubs in the cart, and the cart spinning around, that was a real case. Matter of fact, I just seen it on Twitter, maybe a month ago. I want to say that like it was like a real thing. That was a real thing, and for them to incorporate it into like somebody used it as a video or something. Like, anyway, I seen it on Twitter. That's why I first saw it. But it was a real thing, and yeah, dude, it was so boss to see that inside this episode. And I was like, dude, that happened. That, I don't know why I'm pointing. You guys can't see what I'm pointing at. But like that happened for real. That was a real case. Like that's something that actually happened. And the dude crashing into it and knocking it over. But I did not expect him to get sucked into the play. And what saved dude's life was the clubs that he was so worried about. It's so funny, man. I'm sorry. Like, these cases were wild. Then we have the dude that like after all of the cases and everything and the rest of the episode, everything else was just super heartfelt because it was a Christmas episode, and I know that's what they were reaching for. But before I dive right into that, but seriously, you do not tell kids stuff like that, man. Okay? I'm not even going to dive into what I'm saying, but you guys that watch the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then we dive right into the show, man, and this episode was heavy, man. It was we see that some stuff is going on with Michael. We don't know what it is. At first, we were thinking it was just him realizing that, you know, he doesn't have Athena anymore, and he felt like they were gonna sit him on the outside. And no, like, we're a family, man. I mean, regardless, like, we all love each other. There's nothing. Bobby's not trying to replace him as their dad. He's still involved. He comes over for family dinner. Dude, I thought that's what the problem was at first. And then seeing him kind of like a sleepwalking thing and comes into Athena's house, and sleeping in their bed. I was like, oh, see, he's feeling some type of way because it's Christmas and he doesn't have Athena anymore. But that wasn't the case at all, man. Dude, so we go through this whole episode thinking that that's the case with him. And then let's talk about some other stuff, man. So then we have Bobby this episode. He gets checked out at the beginning of the episode, and we find out that, okay, well, there's nothing yet. Everything's it's fine as of right now. So then they go on this case dealing with the was it the lady or the anyway, they were dealing with the case, and matter of fact, it was the case after Santa Claus. It was the no, there was another case. Anyway, they were dealing with another case, and Bobby's nose started to bleed. I'm sorry because my mind is racing and feeling some type of way about the whole Michael situation. I'm still trying to wrap my head. I actually teared up watching this episode, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, they were dealing with another case, and Bobby's nose started to bleed. I'm sorry if it seems real bright because it's looking really bright to me. But Bobby's nose started to bleed. And I love this episode, man, of how Buck immediately jumped on Bobby and was like, are you feeling okay? Are you having any kind of symptoms or fever, headache, anything? Because are you having symptoms that you don't think is major, but it is major? And I love the fact that he was treating Bobby like that because, one, it also showed that he cared, and this was how Bobby kind of treated him when he was hurt and really injured. And and that's what I love about the show, man. Like, everyone cares about everyone, and we're just one big happy family. Even us as viewers feel like we're a part of the family in 911. And then he was talking about Madame Marie Curie. He was like, I didn't know who she was, but I looked her up and she was super smart, but she still died from too much radiation exposure. Buck is crazy, man. But this whole episode, we're also dealing with Eddie, Hen, Buck, Bobby. They all have to work on Christmas, and they're all kind of feeling kind of torn because this year was a horrible year for the 118. Everybody went through something, even Athena. Everybody went through something at the 118, and nobody really felt like celebrating Christmas. And the only one that really wanted to really grasp and take a hold was Buck. And then Buck set up everything at the end. Huge shout out to Buck, man. But dude, then we also have I already said Eddie. Then we find out that what's her name? Maddie. She got a check from her dead husband. Now, as a matter of fact, it was like, I think it was 400. It was 400 something. I can't remember the exact number, but it was a weird number. Like, it wasn't 400,000 even. It was like 400,000 something and something. But anyway, it was $400,000 in some cash, and she didn't want it. She didn't. And I'm thinking she's probably going to give it to charity or something. I'm thinking for the holidays or something. But she didn't want it, and then she felt like she thought that she wasn't entitled to anything because of her killing her husband. But the law states that if you killed him, you weren't entitled to anything. And she did kill him. It was self-defense. And her talking to her therapist this episode, he told her she really needed closure. She hadn't really had closure at all. She kind of just wrapped everything up, pushed it to the side, and just moved on with her life. And she never really got closure. So for her to get closure this episode was really nice. She went up to Big Bear. The therapist drove her to Big Bear. She went up to Big Bear, and she dealt with everything. She talked to him and just was like, well, I'm going to live my life and I'm going to leave you here. So it was nice to see Maddie get that closure that she really, really needed, because she was going through some stuff this season. Last season and like at the beginning of this season, she was dealing with some stuff. So for her to get the closure that she needed is something that I'm glad that we finally had take place on the screen. I'm glad it didn't take place off. It was something that they really focused on. And then we get to one of the cases that was really intense, man. This kid, mom's collapse in front of him, and he calls 911, and Maddie talks him through doing CPR on his own mom, and it got real intense. And I want to say they started playing like a John Legend song, and dude, my emotions kind of ran rampant this episode, man. And Hen kind of connected with the kid, and I felt like it was going to go somewhere, and it did. So then we get back to the 118, and after a couple cases and a couple days and everything, and now we're having Christmas. But before that, we see Michael walk through a plate glass window. And at that point, I realized that something completely different had happened. There's something major wrong with him now, but I didn't know what it was. So then we get to go and we have Christmas at the 118, and everybody's all nice and lovely. It's set up all nice, a bunch of food. Everybody's immediate families were out there. Gifts for the kids from the foster group home, the one kid from the case that I was just talking about. Everybody came. His mom came, Maddie came. Dude, it was just I can't talk. Full-fledged fun. Finally. I could get it. Full-fledged fun with everybody's family. They were having such a nice, wonderful time. And it was good. And then Bobby sees, and everybody's thanking Buck for having this set up. And at that time also, Hen decides they decide to adopt. Because they can't have kids on their own, they decide to adopt, which is a wonderful thing, man. I think that is something that is absolutely wonderful. And I'm super excited to see how it goes when the season comes back. What else? Oh, then we see Michael off to the side just thinking, and he's a little upset. And then Bobby goes over there to have a conversation with him to see what's wrong. And Michael, this is where I started to cry. Michael tells Bobby that he has a tumor. And that's why he's been having the erratic sleep, the sleepwalking, the walking through a plate glass window, the dizziness, everything, because he's been sleepwalking. Not because he's been sleepwalking, because he has a tumor. I did not think that 911 was going to hit me with something this emotional for a mid-season finale and end just the way that it did. To tell me that Michael has a tumor? Are you serious? And he doesn't want to tell his family. He doesn't want to tell them at all. And he says he's going to go to a specialist and get everything checked out. And he asks Bobby to keep the secret. Just after we deal with all of everything. Oh, we also found out that Bobby's like perfectly clear too. That skipped my mind. I just really want to focus on the Michael thing. That Bobby's perfectly clear and he's healthy. He's fine. No side effects of any kind. And we get that weight off our chest. And it comes to find out Michael has a tumor. Dude, all of these people, like, you're so intertwined and you care about all of these characters and you love seeing them week in and week out. And you come to find out that one has a tumor. 911. You can't do this, man. Y'all can't kill Michael. Y'all better not kill Michael. I'm being 100%. Y'all better not kill Michael. Okay, man. That's everything that happened this episode, man. This is really incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash any more. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember, when it comes back, man, it's bringing this stuff. Peace out, man.